If you want the subjunctive to finally make sense without weirdo lists of trigger words or guessing, this is the video where I give you the 3 tests that tell you subjunctive or no subjunctive pretty much every time. But this is part 3 of a 3-part series. You can get by without seeing part 1, but this will be way easier to understand if you've already seen part 2. So go back and watch that first. You can find all 3 videos and everything else I mentioned today at SpanishDude.com/subjunctive. Okay, from the previous videos, we know the subjunctive occurs in dependent clauses, and there are 3 types of dependent clauses: adjective clauses, adverb clauses, and noun clauses. We also know we must treat each type of dependent clause differently. If we treat them all the same, we'll often get the wrong answer. Then, for each type of dependent clause, there's a unique test we can apply to tell us subjunctive or no subjunctive. To choose correctly every time, we've got to apply the right test to the right situation. Before we get to the 3 tests, make sure you've downloaded my 3-in-1 subjunctive cheat sheet at SpanishDude.com/subjunctive. That's all 3 tests with examples laid out on one sheet, so you don't have to dig through your notes every time you face a should I use the subjunctive moment. Let's do this. First up, adjective clauses, the easiest. I like to always start with the easiest of something, then work my way up to the hard stuff. Now remember, adjectives and adjective clauses tell us more about nouns. Then, once we know we're dealing with an adjective clause, we apply the adjective clause test. We look at the noun the adjective clause tells us more about, the noun before the adjective clause, and ask, is that noun specific, known, or real, or not? If the noun before the adjective clause is specific, known, or real, no subjunctive, but if the noun before the adjective clause is not specific, known, or real, yes subjunctive. For example, I have a computer that works. Tengo una computadora que funciona. The underlined words are adjective clauses. We know they're adjective clauses because they tell us more about the noun computer or computadora. What kind of computer do I have? A computer that works. No subjunctive here. Funciona is indicative of funcionar, and that's because this is talking about a specific, known, or real computer. It's talking about the actual computer I have right now. I know what it looks like. I could even tell you the brand and model. So the noun before the adjective clause is specific, known, or real. That's why the subjunctive is not used. When the noun is specific, known, or real, no subjunctive. But then, very similar, I need a computer that works. Necesito una computadora que funcione. Still adjective clauses telling us more about the computer, but now the subjunctive is being used. Funcione is a subjunctive conjugation of funcionar, and that's because this is not talking about a specific, known, or real computer. I just need a computer that works. Any computer that works will do. I don't care if it's Apple, Lenovo, Dell, or whatever. So the noun before the adjective clause is not specific, known, or real, which is why the subjunctive is used. You with me? This is how the subjunctive works in adjective clauses, bucket number 1 in my 4-bucket system. It has nothing to do with doubt, emotions, weirdo, or anything like that. It all comes down to the noun before the adjective clause. If it's specific, known, or real, no subjunctive. If it's not specific, known, or real, yes subjunctive. Now adverb clauses, a little trickier. How we're going to handle adverb clauses is totally different. This has nothing to do with specificity. Remember, adverbs and adverb clauses tell us more about verbs, among other things. Then, once we know we're dealing with an adverb clause, we apply the adverb clause test. From the main clause's perspective, is there an uncertainty of completion or not? An uncertainty of completion just means you don't know if something will actually happen. If there's no uncertainty of completion, no subjunctive. If there is an uncertainty of completion, yes subjunctive. Let's see what all that means. He made dinner after his girlfriend got home. Hizo la cena después de que su novia llegó a casa. Notice after, normally translated as just después, is now translated as después de que. That's just how it goes. The underlined words are adverb clauses. We know they're adverb clauses because they tell us more about the verb made or hizo. They tell us when the making happened. He made dinner after his girlfriend got home. No subjunctive here. Llegó is indicative of llegar, and that's because in this sentence sentence, when he made dinner, at the time he made dinner, the adverb clause, his girlfriend got home, had already happened. When he made dinner, he was certain the adverb clause had already completed. We can plot this on a timeline to show that. He made dinner after his girlfriend got home. This tells us, first, his girlfriend got home, second, he made dinner. So when he made dinner, he was already certain his girlfriend got home had already happened. It had already completed. That's no uncertainty of completion, no subjunctive. I promise it gets clearer with exposure and practice. So let's look at another example. He made dinner before his girlfriend got home. Hizo la cena antes de que su novia llegara a casa. The only difference is the connector word or phrase. It's before instead of after. Antes de que instead of después de que. That one little difference changes everything though. This time the subjunctive is being used. Llegara is a subjunctive conjugation of llegar. And that's because in this sentence, when he made dinner, at the time he made dinner, the adverb clause, his girlfriend got home, had not already happened. When he made dinner, he was not certain the adverb clause had already completed. Plotting this on a timeline shows us, first, he made dinner, second, his girlfriend got home. So when he made dinner, he had no idea if his girlfriend would ever get home. That's just a logical fact. Maybe she'll break up with him and never come home. Maybe the earth will incinerate before she gets home. There are infinite possibilities. Until she gets home, he can't be certain she'll get home. When he made dinner, he had an uncertainty of completion, so yes, subjunctive. This is how the subjunctive works in adverb clauses. Bucket number 2 in my 4-bucket system. It has nothing to do with doubt or emotions or weirdo, and it has nothing to do with specific or not specific. We can't treat adjective clauses and adverb clauses the same because the subjunctive looks so different in the two types of dependent clauses. It's a totally different conversation. In adjective clauses, it's about specific, known, or real. In adverb clauses, it's about uncertainty of completion. When we do differentiate, though, we can start to see patterns that make the subjunctive easier. Like an adverb clause in the future always or almost always goes in the subjunctive because we can't be certain a future event will happen. That's an uncertainty of completion. I'll call you when I arrive. When we say this, we know I arrive, the adverb clause, is a future event. It hasn't happened yet. That's an uncertainty of completion, so the subjunctive is used. Te llamaré cuando llegue. Llegue is a subjunctive conjugation of llegar. Another one. I'm not going to decide until I see it. When we say this, we know I see it, the adverb clause, is a future event. It hasn't happened yet. That's an uncertainty of completion, so the subjunctive is used. No voy a decidir hasta que lo vea. Vea is a subjunctive conjugation of ver. When an adverb clause is in the future, almost always the subjunctive is used. That's not true with adjective clauses though. Whether an adjective clause is in the future or not doesn't matter one bit. I'm going to rent the house that has a big swimming pool. I'm going to rent a house that has a big swimming pool. Both these sentences are talking about the future, but one uses the indicative, the other uses the subjunctive. Voy a alquilar la casa que tiene una piscina grande. No subjunctive. Tiene is indicative of tener because this is talking about a specific known or real house. They know exactly which house they're going to rent, the one with a big pool. But then, voy a alquilar una casa que tenga una piscina grande. Now, yes, subjunctive. Tenga is a subjunctive conjugation of tener because this is not talking about a specific known or real house. They don't know which house they're going to rent, just a house with a big swimming pool. I'm telling you, we can't treat adjective clauses and adverb clauses the same. The subjunctive looks totally different in the two types of dependent clauses. In adjective clauses, it's about specific, known, or real. In adverb clauses, it's about uncertainty of completion. Last up, noun clauses. Again, this is going to be different from what we did with adjective clauses and different from what we did with adverb clauses. Remember, nouns and noun clauses represent things, people, places, objects, ideas. Then, once we know we're dealing with a noun clause, we apply the noun clause test. Is the main point to assert that the noun clause is factual, real, certain, or true, or not? To assert basically means to believe that the noun clause is factual, real, certain, or true. If there's assertion and it's the main point, no subjunctive. Otherwise, yes, subjunctive. The part about the main point only comes up sometimes, so until I tell you otherwise, it just comes down to assertion versus no assertion. If there's assertion, no subjunctive. If there's not assertion, yes, subjunctive. First example, I heard that they're coming to my party. Escuché que vienen a mi fiesta. The underlined words are noun clauses. We know they're noun clauses because they tell us what I heard. They tell us the thing I heard. I heard that they're coming to my party. No subjunctive here vienen is indicative of venir, and that's because when we say, I heard that they're coming to my party, we believe the noun clause is true. We heard they're coming to the party. Somebody or something told us they're coming to the party. So now we believe they're coming to the party. That is asserting the noun clause is factual, real, certain, or true. And when there's assertion, no subjunctive. But then compare that to this. I hope that they're coming to my party. Espero que vengan a mi fiesta. Again, the underlined words are noun clauses now telling us what I hope. The thing I hope. I hope that they're coming to my party. And this time the subjunctive is being used. Vengan is a subjunctive conjugation of venir. That's because when we say, I hope that they're coming to my party, we don't know if the noun clause is true. We don't know if they're coming to the party. We hope they do, but we don't know if they will. So this is not asserting the noun clause is factual, real, certain, or true, which is why the subjunctive is used here. They hope the noun clause is true, but they don't know if it is. When there's no assertion, yes, subjunctive. Now the example that stumped me for the longest time. I'm glad that they came to my party. Me alegra que vinieran a mi fiesta. This drove me crazy for years. The underlined words are noun clauses. We know they're noun clauses because they tell us what makes me glad. They tell us the thing that makes me glad. I'm glad that they came to my party. The subjunctive is being used here. Vinieran is a subjunctive conjugation of venir, but why? Why is the subjunctive used here? I'm certain they came to my party. This is a past event. It already happened. I'm definitely asserting the noun clause is factual, real, certain, or true. Well, remember the main point thing? It comes into play here. This is the noun clause test. Is the main point to assert that the noun clause is factual, real, certain, or true, or not? In this example, yes, they're asserting the noun clause is factual, real, certain, or true. I'm absolutely certain they came to my party, but that's not the main point of this sentence. When there's an emotion or feeling in the main clause, or anything like it, the emotion is the main point. You can feel it when we say, I'm glad that they came to my party. This sentence isn't mainly about them coming to my party. This isn't mainly about the noun clause. This sentence is mainly about me being glad that they came to my party. This is mainly about me being glad the noun clause is true. So yes, they're asserting the noun clause is factual, real, certain, or true, but that's not the main point, so the subjunctive is used. If there's assertion and it's the main point, no subjunctive, but if there's assertion and it's not the main point, yes, subjunctive. This happens in other situations too, not just with emotions. The indicative is only used when there's assertion and it's the main point. Otherwise, yes, subjunctive. And that is the 4-bucket system. What I just showed you explains about 99% of the subjunctive examples you'll run into in the real world. You might not believe that right now because I only showed you a few examples in each bucket, but inside my subjunctive workshop, we dedicate an entire class to each type of dependent clause. A full session on adjective clauses, a full session on adverb clauses, and a full session on noun clauses, with lots of repetition and practice. You'll walk away with a reliable system for knowing when to use the subjunctive in the real world, and just as importantly, when not to use it. If you want to finally make sense of pretty much every subjunctive example you'll ever encounter, check out the subjunctive workshop recordings at SpanishDude.com/subjunctive. If you only take one thing from the series, let it be this. When we treat every example the same, we're basically just guessing. With adjective clauses, is the noun specific, known, or real, or not? With adverb clauses, is there an uncertainty of completion or not? With noun clauses, is the main point to assert the noun clause is factual, real, certain, or true, or not? And of course, like all grammar, the goal isn't to do this forever. Types of dependent clauses, 3 unique tests, we only do this to understand what's going on, to get the hang of it. Then we memorize it, practice it, and expose ourselves to it so much, eventually the patterns just click. We feel it. And once we feel it, we can forget all this forever. Yep, we learn things so we can forget them later. Life is weird like that. Don't forget to grab your cheat sheet. Until the next time, hasta luego. Adios, amigo.